Okay, so now that we've done our setup round, we have round number 1 of our brioche, and on the setup round, as I showed you earlier, we've got a wrapped stitch and then a normal knit stitch and then a wrap stitch, and actually this is a slipped stitch, not a knit stitch. So we're essentially doing the yarn over the slip one, sorry, the yarn over knit one and slip one purlwise. So as we come around, we've got that last stitch is going to be the wrapped stitch. So we just want to make sure that this yarn wraps that stitch to mimic every second one that we have here. So we're just going to make sure that it stays in the back. And when we come around to the end with our contrasting color, because we're going to bring our contrasting color in now for our round 1 of our brioche ribbing. Okay, so we'd want to make sure that when we're coming around to the end that we brioche purl those 2 together. Okay, so you'll see what I mean when I get to the end. So we're just going to slip that marker over, and we're going to come in with our contrasting color by starting with a yarn over as our pattern states. So we're going to bring that in, yarn over, okay, or yarn to the front, and we're going to slip one. So we're always slipping the singular stitch, or the stitch that is on its own, and the one that is in the previous round slipped with the yarn over is going to be our brioche stitch. So it looks like it's like a wrap stitch. I don't know how else to put it. So we've got our yarn over, or our yarn to the front. We're slipping that stitch, always slipping your stitches in brioche with your yarn in the front, never with your yarn at the back. We're going to do a brioche purl, which means we're going to go around the needle back to the front and purl those 2 stitches together. So that's called a BRP, or a brioche purl. Now, just out of habit, I brought my yarn to the back, but I am just going to keep my yarn in the front here. I'm going to slip this stitch, come around, and brioche purl. My yarn's already in the front, slip all the way around to do that purl. Slip, bring that yarn over and all the way around to do that brioche purl. So essentially you're just purling those 2 stitches, or the yarn over and slip one from the last row, you're purling them together. Okay, so we're slipping that singular stitch, we're going all the way around to create a yarn over, okay, and purling those 2 together, or brioche purl. So if we look now on the second round, we have this was that wrap stitch from the last one, so we'll just kind of keep that in mind. We've got our wrap stitch and our purl stitch, and our wrap stitch and our purl stitch, and our wrap and our purl, and our wrapped and our purled, and our wrapped and our purled. Okay, so you get the idea. So continuing on with my contrasting color that's in the front, so handy dandy, we are going to slip with the yarn in the front, that singular stitch, wrap that stitch, come around, and purl. So that's it. That's round 1 of brioche. So you can continue on. I'll continue on here for a little bit and try and stay in the view of the camera for you, just so you can get a better idea. So slipping around, purl. Slipping that stitch, yarn in front, come around, and purl. The only thing that does tend to happen sometimes is the single stitch will get like stuck underneath these two stitches. So as you're going, you know that you're slipping that one and then brioche purling these two together. So you just kind of keep your stitches